With the likes of Liverpool, Arsenal and Tottenham all scrambling around on deadline day, everyone at Manchester United had their feet up, perfectly content with how they conducted their transfer business earlier in the window. Here, we look how Jose Mourinho's men might line up this season, with the new additions of course. These days, a transfer window isn't complete without rumours of David De Gea leaving to Real Madrid. However, once again, the rumours will prove to be nothing more than just that. With the Spaniard recently stating how proud he is to be part of such a fantastic team, it's clear that he'll be at United for many years to come, and with the #1 spot rightfully his, why would he move? So grab your gloves, David, you're our starting keeper. When playing at the highest level, consistency is key. It allows you to keep your place in the starting lineup, stay on top of your game, and in this case, put yourself in pole position to make yourself first choice right back at one of the biggest clubs in the world for the 9th season in a row. In the days of the disloyal, overpaid players with inflated egos, it's great to see someone like Antonio Valencia get the praise he deserves for being one of the most hard-working, grounded and consistent right-backs in the league. Personally, I think his lack of ability with his left foot is what stops him from being mentioned alongside the greats. But for this starting 11, he deservedly takes his place at right-back. Much like he did with Henrik Mkhitaryan last season, Jose Mourinho looks to ease new signing Victor Lindelof into the squad, so to not put too much pressure on the £30 million man. Whilst he has looked a promising signing, he also doesn't look ready for the rigorous challenges of the Premier League week in, week out. So with that in mind, our first centre-back spot goes to someone who, having fought back from injury to regain his club and international place, still has us laughing whenever he pulls off one of his trademark facial expressions. Take a look at one half of United's centre-back pairing, Phil Jones. I know you guys will have your opinion on who should be playing centre-back, but look at that face. If that doesn't put attackers off, nothing will. Alongside Jones, we have one of the most consistent performers from last season. While Marcus Rojo continues to recover from injury, Chris Smalling's lack of first-team football last season has seen him seemingly out of favour at Old Trafford, even if he was reportedly close to a move to West Brom this summer. So that leaves one player to fill the position, and when you're trying to reach the levels of great United defenders like Vidic and Ferdinand, Eric Bailly will take great pride in the fact his partnership with Jones has Rio's seal of approval. If he can continue to build on the fantastic start he made last season, we could see a new hero emerge for the Red Devils. When it comes to Jose Mourinho's good books, Luke Shaw definitely isn't in there. Having been publicly criticised by his manager last season, it seems there is nothing the young defender can do to force his way back in the team. Despite the transfer window closing and Shaw making his comeback from injury, rumours still persist on his future at the club, with Mourinho looking at other fullback options, including Tottenham's Danny Rose and Fulham's Ryan Sessegnon. So whilst he figures out who to sign and Shaw not getting a game, Daley Blind fills the left-back role perfectly. Equally adept in midfield and centre-half, Blind's consistent performances last year and his fantastic technical ability earn him the left-back spot here. It's a role he has filled exceptionally well not only for club, but for country over the past few weeks as well. Now on to the midfield, where most United fans are probably still amazed that Chelsea let one of their key men join a title rival. With his tough tackling, composure on the ball and dominating midfield presence, Nemanja Matic has already won over the Old Trafford faithful with a string of stellar performances in the early season games. And just when you thought it couldn't get any better, he has revealed that his midfield idol is none other than United legend Roy Keane. At the moment, this guy can do nothing wrong. Alongside Nemanja Matic in the centre of the park is fan favourite and the new vice-captain. Despite Michael Carrick being promoted to captain after Wayne Rooney's departure, at the age of 36, he can only really expect to play a supporting role in United's season, which leaves Spanish midfielder Ander Herrera not only with a central midfield role on the field, but with a captain's armband as well. Although early season games have seen him left on the bench, personally, I don't think it'll be too long before we see last year's player of the season in the thick of the action again. Playing slightly further forward from those two, we have the former most expensive player in the world. At the culmination of last season, I would have said that he wasn't worth the £89 million transfer fee, but having seen the money splashed on Neymar, Dembele and others this summer, the money Manchester United paid to bring Paul Pogba back to the club doesn't seem too bad. And now with his best friend joining the club, All eyes are on whether Pogba can develop his relationship with Lukaku on the pitch to the heights that it has reached off the pitch. I'm sure the United fans will tolerate all the dabbing and all the social media antics if it brings success on the field. Next up, we have a player whose rise to the top is like something off the silver screen. Just 18 months ago, a young man by the name of Marcus Rashford lined up for his United debut. With 2 goals and an excellent display, he hasn't looked back since. The last year and a half has seen Rashford win 4 trophies, represent England at Euro 2016, and lead many to believe that he can go on to be the star of English football. His incredible speed combined with fantastic dribbling and energy make him an absolute nightmare for defenders, whether he plays up front or in this team as he has done for United over the last year in a wider role. Personally, I don't want to overhype young English players, otherwise they may end up down the same road as famous English flops Theo Walcott, Jack Wilshere or even David Bentley. Man, there were so many people I could have added on that list. You know when you're doing well in your job and you think everything's going okay, but then your boss comes and asks for more? That's exactly how this next player must feel at United. Despite assisting 5 goals in his first 3 games this season, Jose Mourinho has still insisted that he see more from attacking midfielder Henrik Mkhitaryan. But that's a good sign. A sign that his manager has belief in him to recreate his end-of-season form from last year, which saw him play a key role in United's charge to the Europa League title, culminating in a goal during the 2-0 victory over Ajax in the final. Maybe Mourinho wants him to reach the heights which have seen him win Armenian Footballer of the Year 7 out of the last 8 years. Who the won it in 2011? Now to the final piece of this United puzzle, the centre forward. Despite some wonderful cameos as a substitute, Anthony Martial looks set for a spell either on the bench or out wide. This is because Jose Mourinho has the pick of 2 top quality strikers, Romelu Lukaku and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Now to be honest, I could go on about these 2 for say a 5-minute video, which coincidentally I have done. Check it out here. But to cap off this 11, Romelu Lukaku has to be the cherry on top of the icing on the cake for United. Ibra will have to play a role no doubt during the campaign, but judging by Lukaku's start to his life at Old Trafford, he'll be chief tormentor for the Premier League defences up and down the country this season. So that's who we've got in our United 11 for this season. Would you have any different? Let us know who you'd put in instead. Comment down below and don't forget to join us on Wednesday for our live Champions League halftime show.